Hi, this is Chi-Ting. I'm glad to present our paper on exploring how to enable clinical-friendly drug psychotherapy with virtual reality and biofeedback technologies. I will present the first part and Jerry will cover the rest. Drug abuse is a common addiction that will cause serious emotional and cognitive problems. Patients may constantly experience drug cravings triggered by various cues and facing the risk of relapse throughout their lives. In psychotherapy, the relapse prevention model is applied to assist patients in the recovery process. According to the model, patients have to first understand craving to avoid relapse. However, they tend to overlook the feelings and their triggers. As a result, they will act on their impulse and leads to drug use. To address this issue, therapy will guide patients to review the craving factors, physical response, and mental experience. Virtual reality has been applied in psychotherapy to improve the quality of cues. And some have incorporated VR with biofeedback that senses and measures physiological activities. However, there is no research on the design space of these technologies in clinical settings for drug addiction that align with treatment goals. Hence, we aim to explore how the VR experience can incorporate biofeedback in drug addiction treatment and engage stakeholders to identify considerations for system design. We conducted a needs assessment study with 5 therapists with experience in either drug addiction treatment or biofeedback therapy. We then conduct semi-structured interviews with them to understand current practice and explore their opinions about using VR and biofeedback in psychotherapy. Jerry will present the results and discussion for you.
After interaction of analyze, we identified 3 major things as initial results. First, therapists that patients would have problem understanding what craving feels like or identifying the triggers. Currently, they only use paper-based tools or videos as cue to help patient understanding of craving, while VR video may be more effective for patients to imagine real-life experience in the session. Second, therapists express concern with applying VR to induce cravings. Most of them worry that the VV and imaginary cues in the VR video would directly render patients in high-risk situations and induce cravings that are too strong to properly address in the session. Moreover, experiencing VR requires patients to immerse themselves in the virtual space. Therapists would need the corresponding information when patients' cravings are induced without direct interactions. Lastly, therapists sometimes have difficulty to identify patients' craving with only behavioral observation and patient self-reports. With biofeedback, therapists can better identify craving reactions based on the sensing data. They also suggest providing real-time reminder of bodily response for patients during VR experience. Based on the identified things, we propose our preliminary system design. Consists of clinical-friendly VR-based craving inducing, real-time craving reminding, and correlation visualization. First, instead of using high-risk situations, for example, drug-using scenario in VR, we step back to visualize only moderate craving stimuli for patients, including a drug-free calendar, item resembling homemade water pipe, drug selling text, and implication of drug supply. Second, we propose using biofeedback device to collect patient physiological signal in real time when it flows to drug-related virtual cues, and provide craving reminders to patients to reinforce mind-body awareness. Lastly, we propose a correlation interface visualizing the segment of VR videos, biofeedback reading, and therapist observation. With this data, therapists can pinpoint the potential craving events and discuss with patients to improve their understanding of craving to avoid potential triggers. In conclusion, we conduct an interview study to explore opportunities and challenges of using VR and biofeedback in psychotherapies for drug addiction, and propose a guideline for system design. In the future, we will interview more therapists and drug-addicted patients to refine the design and conduct more studies. Thanks for listening.